will begin.
Welcome, wise friends, to Recovery Dharma at Soul Center, 6 p.m., Spokane, Washington. And on Zoom. It's incredible to be here. Um, last week we had just a few people, and tonight we have a lot of people. So it just shows how we can vary. And that's in the room. And we have a lot of people online too. Um, so I went back to work. We go back a few days early before the kids come into the school. And I've always done things while I chant sometimes, and I always wondered why. And I was sitting there today, and they just started talking about things that uh, hit me that I do, right? And what one thing I'll do when I chant is sometimes I'll go like this, right? And I'm not autistic, but I'll just go, just sometimes usually just a little bit. And I have a rocking chair I love, so I like to rock anyway. And sometimes I'll do this. And and then when I'm done with the chant, I'll meditate and just be still and breathe and calm. And then during the training today, we were talking about prefrontal cortex and how we can get our students. I work with some really spicy kids. I love that. I was a spicy kid. Um, so it makes sense that I'd like working with them. And how we can get them out of unskillful behaviors is what we'd say in Buddhism, but out of that emotional brain, out of that roaring emotional brain and into their prefrontal cortex as soon as we can. And rocking was one of the things that was brought up. Um, when I think of wise speech here in this meeting, uh, I was thinking how at one point I went through this little phase where I was at Beatty's like, meditation's for more than just calming down. Meditation's more than just self-soothing. I feel like I don't feel like I was super self-righteous. Like if someone had a discussion, I would have discussed it openly. I wouldn't have been closed-minded. And I was really on that for a while. And I realized so many people are really struggling for equanimity, that neutral place that we can go to and find peace. So if someone is meditating and all they're meditating for is equanimity to find peace, then that's fine. I was being judgmental, and I'm glad I saw that. I mean, that myself talking in my talk, what I've said to other people, I make sure to let everyone know I have a reverse that I feel like I was wrong, and that's a good thing for me. So self-soothing is amazing. Rocking stimulates the vestibular system. I have a little bit of a speech impediment. It's hard for me to say vestibular. Uh, it's in our ear. So if I rock, I'm stimulating that system. Either way, that system in turn initiates my parasympathetic nervous system, which can help me when all those neat things in my brain, like my amygdala, are releasing stuff that makes me want to drink or eat too much or go online and scream at people. It helps me to come to equanimity and be able to use my prefrontal cortex. Now, this is a lot of sciencey sounding stuff, but it's really not. if I can calm myself down, then I can think with my prefrontal cortex and I can be skillful with my behavior. Equanimity is very important for me. Without equanimity, I don't see how I could be abstinent from binge eating. I don't see how I can be sober from alcohol. I don't see how I can be skillful when I like to engage in behaviors that activate the rage and all the power that comes to me with that. It's something I can enjoy. It's important for me to have that. They did more research. Of course, they had the research on mice. They found if you rock mice, the mice sleep better. Their breathing slows down, their heart rate slows down, they calm down. I suspect mothers have been doing this experiment, and even some fathers, for thousands and thousands of years when they rock babies. And when they're rocking, their heart rate will lower too, and that'll help the baby's heart rate lower. And the result is calm, slower breath. I didn't know this, but some people who have problems sleeping, if they let themselves rock for a while, fall asleep. Like a little baby, which is great. They've seen it improves people who have sensory processing disorders, and people with Alzheimer's also benefited from rocking. Just a very simple thing. There's another thing, and I don't know because how do you research this? But research shows there's a thing called a butterfly hug, and it can look different ways. But you can go like this with your thumbs, and you don't even have to go with your thumbs. You can just go like this, right? And then kind of alternately pat, or you can go to your arms or your shoulders and pat. And if that feels weird, you can even go on your legs and alternately pat. And it's found to have a similar effect as rocking. And they say research shows it's like a hug. And again, I don't know how you show that. You put a bunch of people on wires and have them do a hug and then have them do this. But I do know, I've seen people do this in this group, so it's something I picked up. I'll go like this when someone says something that I really am in tune with. But I'll also end up doing it in meditation sometimes when I get into a deep place. I'll just put my hand over my heart too and patting. I did it for a while after I learned about it in this class, and it works. Not quite as well as rocking for me, but I know we're all different. Some people may work better. So I'm tempted to do a game. I think maybe I'll wait for next week. It'll take us in a out of meditative state. But I do want us to experiment, and I'm going to go Om. And during that time, you can choose what you want to do. You can do this and alternately pat however you want to do it on your knees. You can rock. And if you don't want to do any of that, there's no have tos in a soul center. There's no have tos in recovery dharma. You can just sit and go with it. And if you want to go Om with me, you can. It's going to be hard for me to rock without oming, I'll be honest, because I om and I rock. So I rock. Okay. So I'm going to get started now. We're going to do that for a little while. And we're going to do some rounds. So we're going to do a minute of that, then a minute of silence, and a minute of that, and a minute of silence. So we'll go back and forth. And you can spend the whole time in silence if you want. Om. 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 Take a moment here to notice how you feel, whether it's calmer or embarrassed or whatever. Is it a feeling where you feel like you could come to a better decision making? You're in a better state of mind, you're more equanimous. This might work for you then. I'll do another 30 seconds of silence and I'll start again. Om. Minute of silence. Another minute of silence. Thanks, Julia. Um, Say really quick, those of you who do fidget a lot, I just want to say I do too. Some of my students at the back of the class where I get to work, one of them, we'll just call him Dude because I'm not supposed to say their names, but he can't speak. So he made a sign for me. And this is his sign for me. He takes his hands, puts them under his shelf, under his arms, and he goes. And when he did that, everyone knew who he was talking about. So I'm like, okay, obviously this is something I do. And it's good. And another thing, I'll sit and meditate. Sometimes when I meditate, I'll notice that my heels will come off the ground. I'll go like this, like they'll bounce or one will bounce. And sometimes I go, okay, let's just go ahead and stop and breathe. And sometimes I'll go, oh, my heels are bouncing. They got to let them bounce. Both have worked. It's just fine. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Having said that, if Buddha was here, who knows, maybe he'd be like, don't move. Not here. So let's do it. Dedication of merit. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be safe and protected. May we live with ease. Namaste.
Namaste.